Oh, this is not a story to tell you the different rules when it comes to stopping at a school bus stop arm. That's something we all should have learned already in driver's training. Instead, I'm about to show you some alarming caught on camera video of drivers blatantly blowing through those school bus stop arms as our children are unloading. But even with proof that it's happening, it doesn't mean it's enough to actually convict someone in the act. In Butte, 1,700 kids ride these yellow buses a day. And with each child that steps on his bus, driver Bill Sharkey knows another precious life is in his hands. He's just one of hundreds of bus drivers around our state with the same worry in mind, hoping when he opens the doors to this bus and the stop arm comes out, drivers will take heed and watch for kids crossing. But we're learning the number of times that doesn't happen is shocking.
Close to 130 stop arm violations since September.
Butte Transportation Director Jeremy Whitlock knows for sure because that's how many violations their newly installed stop arm cameras have caught in the action.
A lot of them are just people just in a hurry.
Take a look. In this video, you can see the school bus stop moving. That's when the arm has deployed. This driver runs through the stop arm, then fails to stop at an intersection behind. In this case, not one or two, but 3 cars run right past the stop arm. Here, a driver is in such a hurry, you can see they drive up over the curb just to get around the stop arm. And in this case, just as a parent and child get across the road, here comes a car, again, blowing through the stop arm.
You know, we don't want somebody to have to live with hitting a kid, and we don't want to have a kid who has, lifelong struggles because of the fact that, somebody just didn't stop.
MTN Investigates reached out to all of Montana's largest school districts to see who had stop arm cameras and who didn't. While most districts contract their transportation needs out to companies like First Student, where buses are equipped with cameras inside, of them only Butte is using a camera on the stop arm. And each district we spoke with also expressed an issue with drivers failing to yield when the stop arm is deployed.
There have been a lot of near misses. So, that's frustrating to me.
Because of that, Lockwood Republican lawmaker Sue Vinton introduced legislation in Montana's last session that would lock in this kind of violation as a civil infraction.
First of all, I'm not one that thinks we need more laws. We have a law that already makes it illegal to pass a stopped school bus. The problem is in the enforcement.
And she's right. We checked in with Butte Judge Jerome McCarthy to learn of the 130 times a car has been captured on camera running the stop arm, not one case has been seen in his city courtroom. In an email to MTN Investigates, Sheriff Ed Lester says that while the school resource officer does make contact with the driver, we just aren't able to proceed with a citation unless the driver can be identified beyond a reasonable doubt.
A person could always say, well, it wasn't me driving that vehicle. I get that.
Vinton's proposed law would enable districts to use tools like cameras to catch violators and make the offense equivalent to a parking ticket.
If you park illegally on the street, nobody knows who parked that vehicle there, but you could still come back to your vehicle, or someone else that was driving your vehicle would come back and find a citation on it.
However, her bill failed in the session.
I hope so. I think we've done a tremendous job this year, especially with the police force coming out there and following through.
We're still going to get those people who are on their phone or drinking their coffee, but I do think if they know there's a consequence for driving it, and it does give us a little more control of the situation, I'd say.
Whitlock says he's committed to making the cameras work.
Anything that we can do legally and through the next legislature to help with this, and if that's installing more cameras, then I'm in support of it. It's just going to help our kids be safe.
So right now, Montana does have a law in place that would slap you with a $500 fine if you're caught blowing through a school bus stop arm. It's a traffic violation. Many times the citation comes because an officer actually saw the car in the act. It's something that doesn't happen very often. Lawmaker Sue Vinton will attempt to push her legislation again during the next session. She says many times it takes numerous times for a measure to become law. For MTN Investigates, I'm Andrea Lutz.
So back to the incident that spurred Andrea's investigation, we do want to point out in Jordana Hubbell's case, the Kalispell girl who was struck by a car this fall that failed to stop at the bus stop arm, The person who struck her has yet to be charged. Again, police say they have an ethical obligation to be able to prove each violation.